What up, what up, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we back for another one. Leading up to this Pacquiao fight, man. Alright, y'all, so as usual, man, I'm just out chilling, man. Just doing me. And the topic of today is going to be: Is Errol Spence Jr. Manny Pacquiao's toughest opponent yet? Now, I tried to do this video yesterday, man. It was so hot. I couldn't even get my thoughts together, so I just went ahead and decided to drop it today. All right, man. So to me, the only way you can compare, or the only way you could answer that question would be to compare all of Pacquiao's, previous undefeated, all the previous undefeated fighters that Pacquiao's faced. You would have to kind of like compare them to each other. And I think the most notable ones are, that's what I was trying to think of yesterday, was like who else has he fought that was undefeated, especially recently. And the only ones I can think of are Keith Thurman, Floyd Mayweather. I believe Jeff Horn was undefeated when he fought Pacquiao, and I believe Chris Algieri was undefeated when he fought Pacquiao. Now, everybody knows the Mayweather outcome. I don't really count that, personally, even as a loss, because just all the behind the scenes stuff that went on. So we're gonna keep Mayweather out of the talk, out of this talk, basically. So if you go off the other undefeated fights that he's had, you have to talk about Thurman. You would have to talk about Horn, and you have to talk about Algieri. And I believe those other two guys are undefeated. But if we went strictly off the last fight, the Keith Thurman fight, Thurman was undefeated. Thurman went into the fight very highly touted. I think he was I think Pacquiao was the underdog in that fight because of his age. And of course, as soon as I try to, start doing the video, I got people calling me, man. Turn this down. See, I ain't got to hear that. All right. So, I believe Pacquiao was the underdog in that fight because of his age. I believe Thurman, well, not believe, but Thurman was very cocky before the fight. Thurman was very, he had a lot to say about Pacquiao's age and how the age should play a role. How he was just better than Pacquiao. How his speed was better, his power was better. And what we found out was, even at 40 years of age, Pacquiao still possesses enough skill, enough speed, enough power, enough stamina, enough ring IQ to take down younger fighters. And he did it in a manner which should have shocked the whole world, because he knocked Keith Thurman down in the first round and he basically beat him up for the rest of the fight. Now, I did a live the other day. You can go watch it if you want to. And it was a film study. I called it film study of the Thurman fight. And if you ask me, he beat Thurman up the whole fight. But Thurman landed some great punches in that fight, which I think made Pacquiao cautious and slowed him down just a little bit. I don't think he gassed out like everybody's saying, but I do feel like Pacquiao, uh, around the sixth, the seventh, uh, around that, more like the eighth, ninth, 10th round, he started to slow down a little bit. But he did pick the pace up. I'm trying to get the sun glare out of the picture. But he did pick the pace up in the 10th and 11th round, where he almost, I believe it was either 9th, 10th, or the 11th round, where he almost knocked Keith Thurman out with a body shot. Now think about that: a 42-something-year-old fighter knocking out a fighter half his age almost, uh, who was touted as being one of the best welterweights in the world at that point, number one, two, or three, wherever you had him at. And he almost knocked this guy out with a body punch. I believe he broke Keith Thurman's ribs, or he did something to his rib, because you could tell Thurman was in a lot of pain when he hit him with that punch. So if we just go off of that fight, now I would like to talk about the Horn fight because I believe for Errol Spence to win, he has to come with a Jeff Horn style of fighting to beat Pacquiao. He has to batter him. He has to stay on top of him. He's going to throw weird punches, headbutts. He's going to have to use elbows. It's going to have to be a dirty fight. He's going to muddy up the fight for Errol Spence to win because Errol Spence does not possess, like, he doesn't possess the how can I put this? He doesn't possess the average, or not even average, but the well-known skills of a champion boxer. Like, he's not really quick. He doesn't have the hardest punch in the book. His ring IQ isn't out of this world, but he just somehow wills his way to victory. So I think because his skill sets are not as high as, normal champions, that he has to do something different, i.e., Jeff Horn, Pacquiao, to win that fight. Jeff Horn won that fight on paper because people felt like Pacquiao didn't knock out a journeyman, basically, or he didn't look good versus a journeyman. Jeff Horn won that fight because Pacquiao's face looked almost as bad as as Horn's did at the end of that fight. The only difference is Pacquiao's Horn's face looked like that because Pacquiao's punches were landing, and Pacquiao's face and head looked like that because he was getting headbutted and elbowed all night. So to me, that would have to be Earl Spence's game plan because I don't feel like Earl Spence is the most talented welterweight out there, but I still feel like he's the best welterweight out there because of body size, because he is able to lean on guys and gas them out, because he is able to use what he does have to win fights. But he might not have like the greatest skill sets, like the speed and the power or the ring IQ in the world, but he has what it takes to will himself through fights, and he wins. So you can't hate him for that. So like I said, if you were to compare him to those other guys, Horn, Thurman, and I believe Algieri was undefeated when he fought Pacquiao. Now Algieri's a different story. Algieri should have never been in the ring with Pacquiao. I don't know why Algieri was in the ring with Pacquiao. It was just like a one of those top ranked in-house fights that they put together and built up as something that it really wasn't. And Pacquiao was coming off a loss, so any Pacquiao fight was going to be built up. Uh, but if you watch that fight, there was nothing that Algieri's kind of Errol Spence's size. They're kind of around the same size. I think Spence might be a little bulkier, a little more muscular than Algieri. But Algieri was a nice sized fighter, and Pacquiao basically dominated him the whole fight because unlike Errol Spence, uh, who I do believe understands boxing angles, Algieri did not understand boxing angles at all, and I think his coach was a kickboxing coach, and that might be why he didn't understand defensive angles in boxing because when he tried to tuck and roll away from punches, he was tucking and rolling right into a punch, and at some point he should have realized that. Whoever they had him sparring with obviously was the wrong guy because he wasn't landing that punch Pacquiao was throwing when Algieri was tucking and rolling, but Pacquiao was landing it every time. But okay, so if we compare Spence to those three guys, Thurman, Algieri, and Horn, obviously he's better than Algieri and Horn. I'm not sure if you can say that he's better than Thurman. Uh, I'm not sure if they fought already. I don't think they did. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I even followed PBC boxing before. I was a few guys from PBC that I follow, like Broner and now somebody else who was on PBC, but it's not on PBC anymore. But before Pacquiao left Top Rank, I didn't follow PBC that closely because I didn't feel like those guys were proven yet. And I was saying that when Pacquiao actually did go over there and decided to fight over there. Not to say that I think Terrence Crawford is any more proven than those guys are. I didn't feel like the younger generation had been proven at that point. But I still don't think they've been proven. But since Pacquiao is over there now, he's been showing and proving that these guys are really not on his level. So, like I said, I don't know why the Algieri fight came up. I don't know. I don't know. The Jeff Horn fight. I really don't know why he even fought Jeff Horn. But I do feel like the strategy for Spence to win has to be a Jeff Horn style of strategy. Now, Spence is way better than Jeff Horn, so he does some things he brings to the table. If he can incorporate that into the Jeff Horn technique, he could win this fight very easily. But I think the fight plays very well into Pacquiao's hands because of the speed, the ring IQ, the power, and I think Spence might not be expecting what Pacquiao's actually going to bring to the table. Let me know what y'all think about that. Is Spence the toughest fighter Pacquiao's faced to this point? Is he the toughest undefeated fighter or just fighter, period, that Pacquiao's faced to this point, man? Hit that like button for me. Please subscribe. I'm going to be dropping plenty more content, so stay tuned. Be going live here pretty soon. Dealing with a lot right now, man, but I'm definitely trying to get these videos out for y'all, man. Where we at? Let me see if I can give y'all a peek of where we at. I don't know if y'all saw that, man, but downtown Louisville, Kentucky, man. Actually, across the water in Indiana. Uh, yeah, we crossed the water in Indiana, man, at that park. Like I said, man, I go chill, man. Chill, man. Chill vibes, man. It's right. It's why what's going on with me right now in my personal life is crazy, and I can't believe this is even happening, but it is what it is. Your boy Cardinal Red, we are out of here.